All right, what is up, everybody? How you guys doing? I see hellos in the chat, and let's go. So, how to start a kick-ass Amazon business that generates passive income 24/7, 365, starting with zero experience in your spare time. And no, it's not drop shipping. I know a lot of people maybe are familiar with drop shipping, but this is completely different. And we will talk about those details in the following slides. So here are the 3 secrets we are going to be discussing, and I'll go in detail on each one. So secret number 1, how to find winning products that will make you thousands of dollars per month on autopilot without getting stuck fighting against oversaturated and competitive markets. And you can see a screenshot. That's my personal screenshot of just a single month of selling. About 67,000 almost in revenue just from my single brand, starting it from scratch. And I'll tell you a little bit of my story later on. But secret number 2, what we're going to be talking about is how to build a wildly profitable e-commerce business that makes you money in your sleep fast. And secret number 3, the number 1 most effective and easiest way to get a steady stream of profitable sales. And no, it's not Facebook ads. So don't worry about ever having to run any social media ads. There's actually a better way. So I see a lot of yeses in the chat. That's awesome. I think my chat's maybe delayed only 5 seconds or so, but I want to promise you something. You're not going to start earning $10,000 per month overnight. I'm sure you already knew that, but I want this to be a disclaimer here. I want to promise you're not going to start making $10,000 per month overnight. I'm sure you already knew that. But I promise if you follow through with the strategy I'm about to teach, you'll be able to make more money than you ever dreamed possible. Does that sound good to you? And we will go ahead and continue. So if you stay to the very end of this webinar, I want to do something very special. I'm actually going to be revealing my own brands that I currently sell on Amazon that have been responsible for generating over $1 million in sales. On top of that, we have a special offer at the end. So I see a lot of yeses. I'm happy to see that. And so who is this for? Because this actually is not for everyone. So this is for you if you've tried earning money online before and you failed. This is for you if you're sick and tired of working 9 to 5, or you feel stuck and unfulfilled with your job. And this is for you if you're not satisfied with an average or normal life and you know that you deserve more freedom, more income. This is for you. Who this is not for, okay? This is not for you if you're looking to get rich quick. Unfortunately, this takes time, effort, energy, and money. So I want you to promise me something. For all of you Marvel fans, this is Thanos. I am going to be revealing a lot of high-level strategies and tactics over the next hour or so, and you could use what I'm going to teach you to sell a bad or low quality or unethical product just to get sales and make money. But I want you to promise me that you're going to sell the best possible product you can to help people out and to earn a good living. So can you promise me that you're not going to use these powers I'm going to teach you for evil? Hopefully, if that is the case, say yes in the chat, and we will go ahead and get rocking and rolling. So who am I? Very quickly, I don't want to talk about myself for very long. I'm 27 years old. I'm an entrepreneur with commerce experience. I currently own 2 brands of 20 plus Amazon products, actually 27 now, with over $1 million in total sales. I have a huge passion for teaching and passing on my knowledge of e-commerce because of the life-changing effect it has had on me. And I enjoy traveling, and I'm a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu purple belt, which is a martial art. And so here are some of my results. This is a quick screenshot. This is not my total amount of sales, but this is just a 2-year window here, about $818,000 in sales, $229,000 in pure profit. And so those are some of my results there. And here's me training jiu-jitsu. I like to play indoor airsoft and hanging out by my car. And so here are some of my results. I've been able to build a brand earning $40,000 to $65,000 a month on Amazon selling these odd products. Selling these odd products, I didn't think I would have success with it, but it's allowed me to do a lot of really cool stuff and enjoy a lot of freedom and not be tied down to a desk. And so I've also been mentioned in the press and featured on podcasts. I've been on Yahoo Finance, and other media outlets. And this is my story. So I used to be addicted to playing video games, literally 10 plus hours a day when I had nothing better to do. I had no guidance, ambition, or goals. I was a college dropout, and I was making barely $500 a month as a lifeguard. And I was extremely introverted, wasn't good with people, just wanted to sit in my room all day. Maybe some of you can relate to that. And I knew I had potential, but I didn't know what to focus on or even have any clue where to start. I had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And so one day I heard this quote from Warren Buffett that said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And that really hit home for me because I was thinking, like, I've never made money in my sleep. I have no idea, is that even possible? And so I thought to myself, how can I earn money online? My goal was to be earning $10,000 in profit per month after 2 years. Wow, you have a lot of martial arts experience. That's pretty awesome. I've only done jujitsu and some grappling, like wrestling and things like that. But getting back to the story here, I didn't know where to even start. And so what I realized was that, and this was kind of an aha moment, was that investing in my education was the key to success online, because I could just trial and error a bunch of things that would take forever and would probably cost me a lot more money than if I were to do a lot of research and invest in learning. So I started investing in courses, trainings, seminars, and books to learn how to make money online. That's that bookshelf right there. I read all of those books in just under 2 years. It's like 60 books, I believe. So that's a lot of reading. You can see Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Think and Grow Rich is somewhere in there. So a lot of mindset and business principles, because I didn't come from any of that background. I had no help getting started with my business. And so I had to kind of look outwards. And so my first attempt was to day trade penny stocks, actually. And so I took the little money I had, just a couple of $1,000s, opened up a brokerage account, and I made a couple $100s, made a couple $100 more, and then started losing money. So I actually put in like an Excel spreadsheet there. You can see all of my trades, made a little bit of money. But at the end of the day, after a few months of hard work every day trying to learn how to trade, I lost money. And so that was painful to me. I was like, I already had a glimpse of, wow, I could make, one day I made almost $300. You can kind of see there. It's a little bit fine in the print there. So I already had the kind of the bug to make money online, but obviously this was a failed attempt. And so I sat there, back to the lab, sitting down at my desk, and I was like, there has to be a better way. There has to be a better way that isn't as risky. Every day I could lose all my money, I could make some money, and I wanted something more stable and long term. Then one day I stumbled across something amazing. I didn't know at the time, but it would change my life for the better, give me a lot more freedom and an income and ability to travel and pursue hobbies. And that is Amazon FBA, right? Fulfillment by Amazon, leveraging Amazon's platform to sell products online. And so I went from flat broke as a lifeguard to earning 6 figures in barely over a year. It was actually 13 months of selling. And before that, I had no experience. I didn't know what I was doing, wasn't sure that I would have success, had no help or guidance, and just had the little money I saved from lifeguarding. And I was able to build a nice long-term business online. So just in a single month of selling, I made $16,400 profit from Amazon FBA. While half of that time I was at the beach, actually on vacation with my family, and I was checking my seller app. You can see a screenshot there. Every day, $1,000 or $2,000 in sales, which was just mind-boggling. And I wasn't even doing any work. I was literally at the beach, skimboarding, hanging out, which is pretty cool, right? And so you will become addicted to this. Once you become an Amazon seller, you get a payment from Amazon every 2 weeks directly deposited into your bank account like clockwork. And so here are a couple of the screenshots from the emails Amazon sends me, to the tune of, up there at the top, it's circled in red, $9,500. Then another 2-week payment was $11,900, and another 2-week payment there was $13,700 deposited into my bank account just from selling my products online on Amazon, which is pretty awesome, right? And so it's not just me who's figured this out. I've taught many students. I have hundreds of students actually. And one of my students, Jess, in her very first week, did almost $2,500 in sales. She was selling and is selling some kind of a toy. And just in the very first week, $2,500. Isn't that pretty awesome? How would you like to be earning $2,500 your first week selling on Amazon? Pretty cool, right? Another student of mine, Myrma, he did over $1,000 in sales just his first 2 days. So both of them over $500 in sales every day, starting up from scratch, teaching, learning, and implementing what I teach. Okay, so here's some of the benefits of selling on Amazon. You can stop trading your time for money, which is one of the biggest pros, right? So you don't have to go to work for 1 hour and get paid X amount of dollars. You can just sell your products passively on Amazon, and the sky's the limit, right? You can be your own boss. You can spend more time with your friends and family. You can smash your alarm clock and never have to use that thing again because you can set your own schedule. And then you also have an asset that is growing for you and building up your own dream instead of building someone else's, right? And so here are a few Amazon myths. All right. A lot of people think Amazon's too saturated. That's not true. Not even close. There will always be more opportunity than you could take advantage of. I myself am launching a new brand right now. And if I didn't believe that, clearly I wouldn't be selling on Amazon or launching any more products, right? And so some people think you can only sell on Amazon from the US. That's not true. There are people selling on Amazon from around the entire globe. And some people think you need a lot of money to start selling on Amazon. Not true. You can start with just a couple of $1,000s, actually. Some people think you need to be good with computers and technology. I started on refurbished MacBook Air that I barely knew how to use. So if I could do it, I'm sure you can as well. And some people think you need a lot of experience with online business. It's actually very beginner friendly, and you don't need any special business licenses, okay? So those are just some of the myths, but selling products on Amazon is kind of like selling on eBay, but on steroids, because you get instant access to hundreds of millions of Amazon Prime customers. You don't need a website. You don't need any employees, and it's completely automated, allowing you to make money in your sleep, right? And so post-pandemic, e-commerce is exploding at an even faster rate than ever before. Every single year, Amazon has been growing. More people have been shopping online, and it has become a stronger opportunity, actually, with just so many more rabid buyers than the sellers can keep up with, okay? And so my question to you is, are you ready to start your Amazon journey? So if the answer is yes, type that in the chat. And we are going to start with secret number 1 right here: how to find winning products that will make you thousands of dollars per month on autopilot without getting stuck fighting against oversaturation and competitors. I see some yeses coming in. Greg says yes in all caps. That's awesome. Rebecca says yes. Jai says yes. Cool. And so finding a winning product used to be really hard, you guys. You used to have to guess what products would sell well. You have to spend hours and hours crunching numbers, risk investing money in a product without knowing if it would sell, and you used to have to use multiple tools that all said different things, which just led to confusion and that was no good, right? And so I almost wore a hole in my parents' couch figuring this stuff out on my own. I tried dozens of product research techniques, spent hundreds of hours of research, invested thousands of dollars of my own hard-earned money just from lifeguarding, actually. And after launching many successful products, I developed a special formula that I've used to find winning products again and again. And it's called the backpack method, okay? And there are 4 key components here of finding winning products. Number 1, you want to make sure the product's small and light. Number 2, you want to make sure it's simple and harmless, so it's not like a crazy electronic gadget with a million moving parts. You want to look for the profit peak, so to be able to earn a good amount of profit every sale and not be fighting for 50 cents in profit per sale. And you also want to, last but not least, weigh the competition versus the demand. All right. And so for small and light, you guys, you want to usually make sure the product's under around 2 pounds and that it fits in a backpack. So it's called the backpack method because you should try and find a product that can fit in. Think of like a day pack that you would take to school, not like a crazy huge camping backpack, but like, relatively small book bag. And if your product can fit in that, usually the fees are lower, the costs to start are lower, and that overall it's less risk to you. Okay. Also, you want to make sure it's simple and harmless. So use the KISS method, right? Keep it simple, stupid is what I tell myself. So make sure it's simple with a simple product with few or no moving parts. Ideally, just one simple product, right, with no moving parts. Also, make sure it's not dangerous. No dangerous goods. For example, glass, sharp objects, liquids, chemicals, and things like that. And also look for the profit peak. So generally, a product priced between $15 and $25 on Amazon is a great range to look to sell a product. And also aim for at least $5 profit per sale, right? And finally, you want to weigh the competition versus the demand. So products with lower competition, and the way we gauge competition, by the way, is Amazon reviews. It's counting up the number of Amazon reviews. And if a product has less than around 250 Amazon reviews on average, that's fairly low competition, right? We don't want to try and sell products with 10,000s of reviews that other sellers have. And so we want to be smart and tactical with how we do this, and also look for at least medium demand, which I would say is about 300 sales per month, which breaks down to about 10 per day, right? Are you guys following along so far with the backpack method, roughly, hopefully? Cool. And so the next thing you're going to need is a product research tool, all right? So I use AMZ Scout. And the cool thing about it is it gives you all of the data, you guys. It shows you all of this information, like the price, the monthly estimated sales and revenue and number of reviews. So everything we need, AMZ Scout can help us out with that software. And we will get into how to use the software in a little bit. Clint says, "Yup," with 5 P's. I love it. And so glad to know you guys are tracking along here, but maybe you're asking, like, where do I go to find products, right? Well, if you think about like this, if we're going to try and sell a product on Amazon, the best place to hunt for a good product would be Amazon.com, right? Because that's where we're going to sell the products. So we're going to look for good products to sell on Amazon directly, okay? And so some people might be asking, like, isn't Amazon already too saturated? And I used to think this too, but then I found and discovered a special research method that kept finding me winning products again and again. And this is called the new releases method, you guys. So on Amazon.com, there's a little button there you can see in red. With that arrow there, it says new releases. So if you click on that, you'll be able to see a page that shows Amazon hot new releases. And then we'll be able to do some digging and searching for that winning product under the categories that are already hot and selling really well. So what you want to do next is filter by the category. So you click that little new releases button on Amazon, and then on the left-hand side where that red arrow is, you're going to see a bunch of categories. Some are better than others, right? And so these are the 14 best categories to sell under, responsible for creating millionaires from scratch, ranging from arts, crafts, and sewing. So that's one of my brands. I sell products under that niche, all the way down to toys and games, okay? So if I had to give the top 3, I would say arts, crafts, and sewing is amazing. Then I would say home and kitchen, and then tied with home and kitchen and dining, and then office products. Okay, so top 4. Those would be my top 4. I have brands in 2 of those categories. All right. And so what you want to do is narrow down your new releases, okay, narrow down by department. So up in the top right there, there's a little arrow there that shows a browser extension, AMZ Scout, the software. And so if we click on that, we'll be able to pop up this software, this browser extension, directly on Amazon.com under those hot new releases. And then we can start hunting for our winning product, looking at all of the criteria, keeping in mind the backpack method, you guys, right? So finding simple, small, light, harmless products with good room for profit, not too much competition, but strong demand. Does that make sense? Right? If you just think about it like that, just want to keep it as simple as possible and find at least a product that can get you on first base, right? And so following the backpack method, I found a winning product in less than 5 minutes of research. Okay. And so this is a luxury cutting board set here. I believe it's made out of some type of bamboo, possibly. And so using AMZ Scout on the new releases tab, I did some hunting and I found this product, which was super interesting. It was getting a ton of sales. And so breaking that down a little bit, I took a look on Alibaba.com, which maybe some of you are familiar with. It's pretty much like Google for finding a manufacturer. And I found that I could buy this product in bulk for around $4.40 a piece, right? From a manufacturer overseas, and then turn around and sell it on Amazon like this seller for $25.99 each. And so I opened up a special calculator also by AMZ Scout that shows all of these numbers broken down, because you might think it sounds amazing. Oh, buy a product for $4, sell it for $25, pocket the rest of the money. That's not actually how it works, because there are Amazon fees involved. But at the end of the day, after inputting some of these costs, it looks like they're earning just over $7 profit per unit after all the costs, shipping, Amazon fees, and things of that nature. And they're getting over 2,300 sales per month, which broke down to $17,128.10 in profit every single month. So $17,000 in profit every single month selling one of these, selling this for this seller, selling these wooden cutting boards, which is pretty insane, right? Like that's life-changing numbers. Just imagine what you'd be able to do with that kind of money. So I want you to do I want to do a quick exercise real quick, guys. Close your eyes, and I want you to imagine if you had just one winning product generating at least $10,000 a month on Amazon in passive income, in profit, right? In profit, not in sales. How would you feel, right? Maybe you'd be able to pay off some credit card debt. Maybe you'd be able to save up a little nest egg. Maybe you could take a much needed vacation, or just say, hey, I'm going to quit my 9-to-5 job, right? Those things are pretty awesome, right? So you can open your eyes again, and I just want you to get that visualization of how powerful selling even just a single product on Amazon is and how it could change your life, right? So Greg, I see you asked a question. I'm going to hold some of those until the very end. Those are really good questions. And so we're going to continue here, but I am keeping an eye on the chat there. So I want you guys to make a commitment to yourself right now, because just thinking about something is great, but then putting your thoughts into actions is where you'll get the real results, right? So I want you to make a commitment and say, I will become a successful Amazon seller no matter what it takes, right? So if you can make that commitment to yourself, then I promise you'll be able to see amazing results with following through what I'm teaching and sharing about Amazon. So secret number 2 is what we're going to move into, you guys. So we just talked about how to find winning products, what software to use, and things of that nature. But secret number 2 is how to build a wildly profitable Amazon business that makes you money in your sleep fast, okay? And so when I first started learning about Amazon FBA, I thought I would need to work around the clock, marketing, shipping, doing customer service, and I started to feel a little bit overwhelmed. So Jenny says yes with 3 clapping emojis. I love that. You guys are awesome. So it was a lot. It was just a lot to think about, right? Getting started. And it took me years of research and practice to develop this simplified 6-step process, something I call the fast track framework for getting started. And so here it is in 6 steps. I have a bunch of cool infographics, and I'll break each one of them down as simple as I can. And so it only takes 6 steps, guys, to get started with selling on Amazon. And so step number 1, we already quickly talked about it, but it's to follow the backpack method of product research, right? To find simple, small, light, harmless products that have that profit peak, have good demand, low competition, using a software tool like AMZ Scout on Amazon.com to hunt for that winning product, okay? You always want to use software and data and not your gut instinct, to sell a product. Because although you might be really passionate about, I don't know, iPhone cases, for example, well, if you look at the numbers on Amazon, they might not be as good as you think. So that is what I'd highly recommend. And make sure it's small and light, right? So that fits in a backpack, because your startup costs will be lower. And so if that makes sense, hopefully, right? And so step 2 is to brand and differentiate, all right? Now, this method I'm teaching you guys is called private labeling or white labeling, which is essentially just putting your own packaging and logo on your own products. And I'll reveal what mine are a little bit later on in this webinar, so you'll definitely want to stay tuned. But you want to follow something I call the Tier 1 branding method to brand and differentiate your products, because you don't want to be the same as everyone else on Amazon. So you want to brand your product with an amazing logo and packaging. Make sure the logo matches the niche that you're in, and I'll discuss that a little bit later. And also, you want to position yourself as a premium brand so you can charge more and have a higher profit margin, which is pretty cool, right? You do not want to be the lowest priced product on Amazon, because people associate price with value. And if you're going to have the lowest price, then it's not going to be as profitable. So that's why I'd highly recommend all of that. Farhan, will you be able to get the slides at the end? Yes, you should be able to get a replay of this webinar as well, but it's way better live, right? For you guys to be able to interact and ask questions and get the most value. So here is an example of branding versus no branding, you guys. I think it's a picture says 1,000 words. So on the image on the left-hand side there, it's a brand I really like on Amazon called Clever Fox. And so these are both dotted journals, you guys. And so if you were to look at these two products, which one seems more enticing to you? Probably that one on the left with the cool packaging, right? With the logo. Maybe the product is very similar or the same on the inside, but you know how people say you can't judge a book by its cover? Unfortunately, a lot of people do. And so branding is very powerful to help get an identity for your brand, right? All of you are saying blue, or on the left, yes, definitely, right? And so branding is the key to standing out. And building a powerful brand on Amazon allows you to increase your profit significantly every single sale, because you can usually charge more money. It allows you to sell your business for much more, you guys. Some of you might not even think about this, but Amazon businesses are sellable. Excuse me. And so if you have a legitimate brand, then it is much more valuable than just generic products, right? It also completely negates the competition, and you don't ever have to get in a price war with other sellers because you have a unique product, right? Going ahead with, what if maybe you're asking, what if you're not a graphic designer, right? Don't worry. There's a really cool website out there, you guys, called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. And there are freelance graphic designers that can do pretty much everything for you. So all you need to do is type in like custom packaging or a logo, and you can see right here, for example, graphic designers can design your custom packaging for as little as $25, even $15 for that interesting dog product right there. But it's really easy to get a logo and packaging designed for you. You don't need to be a crazy talented graphic artist, right? Step number 3 is to find a supplier. And to do that, you want to find a world-class supplier for your winning product using something I call the supercharged supplier contact method. You need to learn how to use Alibaba.com to find those amazing suppliers. And you want to definitely use a secure form of payment and optimize payment terms for increased safety. All right. And so where do you find a supplier, right? I already talked about this briefly, but I go to Alibaba.com, which is like Google for finding manufacturers. And up there, I typed in yoga mat, and we can see a bunch of overseas manufacturers will pop up for any product you type in. Literally, they can manufacture it. It's amazing. So that's where you go to hunt for your supplier once you pick that winning product. And to find the best suppliers, here is what I would recommend. After, I think I've sourced from 7 or 8 suppliers now, and I've never had any problems with any of them because I always look for good prices. I always look for suppliers that have at least 2+ years of experience, and you can see that on Alibaba. You want to make sure they have professional communication, so they don't need to have perfect English, right? But they need to be able to understand what you're asking for. Usually you only want to select trade assurance and verified supplier, which Alibaba will vet these suppliers to make sure they're legitimate, they're trustworthy, they're reputable. And those are the things you want to look for. And you also usually want to order samples before placing a bulk order, okay? Because you want to test the quality of just maybe 1 or 2 of their products before you order, say, 500 and have them shipped to Amazon. Does that make sense? Right? It should kind of make sense just thinking about finding the best suppliers, and those are the things you want to look for. So maybe you're asking like, but that's cool, Michael, but what if I don't speak Chinese, right? And you're stressing out like Liam Neeson here. I forget which movie this is from, but you're like, oh no, am I gonna have to talk to these suppliers on the phone and speak Chinese? Don't worry, you don't have to do any of that. Almost all communication is over either email or instant messaging, and so yeah, you don't have to worry about speaking Chinese. They all speak English. They go to school for English. And so next, you're going to need to sign up to become an Amazon seller. You can either Google that, or you can go to sell.amazon.com and you can click that little sign up button to walk through the steps there to get your account started. You're going to need to be able to do this so you can list your product on Amazon, so you can send inventory, so you can run ads. Okay. And so that would be the next step right there. Okay. It's from Taken. I'm pretty sure it is probably from the movie Taken. Yeah. Those were good series, right? Step number 4 is to set up your optimized product listing following something I call the TIBD method. Okay, title, images, bullet points, and description. And those are, I put those in that order because those are the most important in those orders. Okay. And so setting up your listing, you want to make sure you write keyword rich titles, descriptions, and bullet points. Get professional photography, which you can also go to Fiverr to get those photos taken for you. I have taken photos with my iPhone when I first launched my very first product, but if you're going to put in minimal effort, you're going to get out minimal results, right? And so you want to get the best results you can. And so I want to walk you quickly through an example of a bad listing and then an example of a good listing. And so, yeah, so to sell on Amazon, there's a couple of different plans, Rebecca. The professional plan, which you're definitely going to want so you can sell a ton of items and use advertising, is, I believe, $39.99 per month. Okay. And so there are investments that you need to make in order to get started, because obviously this is a business. And so that's how I've always thought about it. And so here's an example of a bad listing. This is an electric bath brush set, and AMZ Scout, our handy software here, shows the LQS, which stands for listing quality score. You can see there in that orange circle is only a 65. So 65 out of 100. And so they're doing a couple of things right. They have the title length is just under 200 characters. So it has good description there. They have all 5 bullet points, but unfortunately they have bad reviews, not that many reviews, and they have no description. So there are a couple of things they're not doing well. So this seller, their images kind of look okay, right? But this seller obviously has some improvements to make. On the other hand, here's the anatomy of an optimized product listing. So this guy here has, which is a silicone body brush, has a listing quality score of 88. So that would be a B+, right? If this was, a test that they're getting graded on. And because they have an optimized listing with good images, good title, their bullet points are on point, they have good reviews, they just don't have that many. That's the only thing slowing them down. But they do have a description, unlike the other sellers. So if we were to scroll down here, which we can't do because it's a screenshot, but we'd be able to see that they wrote out a description of the product, which just helps for keyword reasons and to give buyers more information. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, the more information you have on your listings, the better it is in terms of the images and what you write in your listings. The more persuasive it is, the more likely you're going to get a sale, right? Optimizing your listing means you'll get increased sales, a higher conversion rate. So let's say 100 people look at your product listing and 10 of them buy. That would be a 10% conversion rate, because 10 out of 100 bought your product. And so you want to get that number as high as possible through optimizing your listing. It'll also mean with an optimized product listing, you have lower advertising spend. If you're going to spend money on ads on Amazon, it'll result in a higher profit, right? Because you don't have to waste all this money and not have people buy if you don't have a good listing, and you'll have less customer complaints. So if you think of your product listing kind of like a bucket, right? If it's not optimized, you have a bad title, blurry images, it's going to be like a leaky bucket. And so no matter how much water you try and pour in there, it will never fill up because you have holes in your bucket or, a not optimized product listing. So hopefully that analogy makes sense, right? On the other hand, with an optimized product listing, then you get to pour in that water or customers and collect them in terms of profit because more people will stick and buy your products, okay? Jenny says, yes, super helpful to see. I'm glad. That's awesome. And so step 5, you want to ship your products to FBA or the fulfillment center. And so you want to follow something I call the streamlined shipping method. You need to add the correct Amazon barcodes to each product, which your supplier will usually always handle, actually. You need to create a shipping plan within your Amazon Seller Central account, and you need to send your supplier the details in order for them to take care of the rest. So creating a shipping plan, having them email the barcodes so they can print them off, stick them on your boxes, and then pay them to ship it into the warehouse. And so this is kind of what it looks like. Your supplier will add your packaging and barcodes to your product. So let's say you're going to sell that original dog mix right there. You need to make sure they put on that Amazon barcode, which you'll get inside of your Seller Central account once you create your listing. And then you'll just make sure that they sticker on that barcode, they sticker on or print out your custom packaging. And then from there, all of your products will usually go into a carton, So in this case, it looks like 7 of those that dog mix that you're going to sell there has the barcode, has the packaging. They stick it in a bigger box there and then just ship it off to Amazon, okay? And so that's the short and sweet of that. And you always want to have your supplier ship straight to Amazon and pay them securely through Alibaba because they'll take care of the rest of the work, okay? So Farhan asks, should you have a professional Amazon selling account before even searching for a correct product? No, not necessarily, but you do need it eventually to list your product. That's a good question. And so the difference here between air and sea shipping, those are the 2 main methods, is for me personally, the very first product I launched, which was a type of printable sticker paper, which I'll talk about in a little bit, I used air shipping. And the thing is, it is faster but more expensive. Usually takes around 7 to 10 days to arrive. And you might want to consider using it for your first order or if you're not shipping out a lot of product. On the other hand, though, nowadays, I always ship my products via sea. It's way cheaper, but it is slower. It takes around 30 days to arrive. And you want to use it for all the other orders. So if you time your products correctly, you have 90 days of stock, roughly, give or take. And then once you start selling, you'll be able to see, okay, it's time to reorder inventory, and you'll be able to time that out. And it'll be way cheaper because sea shipping is much less expensive, generally around 3 times cheaper than air shipping, okay? And so step number 6 there, once you have your product manufactured and shipped into Amazon's warehouse, is to launch your product, which is the cool part, right? You did all this hard work, and now it's time to make some money and sell your product on Amazon. So you want to follow something I call the PCL product launch method. You want to advertise your product, and we'll talk about that in a moment here. Running coupons on Amazon to drive sales. Usually for me personally right now, I'm running 10% off coupons for my new products I'm launching. And you want to have a lower price than your competition in the beginning so that it's way more enticing. On the left-hand side, we can see this seller, that's a baby hooded towel. They have a lower price and they have those coupons, which look more enticing than the other seller, which although they have more reviews, their price is higher and there's no real incentive to buy the product. So that is some of the tactics I use for launching and running ads and promotions on Amazon, okay? And so I want you to imagine launching your first product, what that will feel like. For me, this was actually back in December of 2017, and I launched my first product in a terrible time of year, like 3 days before Christmas. And I remember my product got into Amazon's warehouse. I got an email. They said, hey, your product's live. Started running some ads on Amazon. And immediately the first day I got 2 sales, right? Not a lot, but it's something, right? The next day I got 3 sales, then 5 sales, then 6 sales. And so it kept building up. And I kept on, I remember refreshing my seller app and like, oh my gosh, like I made 6 sales yesterday. And half of those sales I made money while I was sleeping, which is an awesome feeling to know you have a business working for you, right? Pretty awesome, right? And so that's what it feels like to launch your first product. It literally feels like Christmas morning. If you can remember, think back if you celebrate Christmas or a special holiday, thinking about that morning, waking up and seeing presents under the tree. That's kind of what it feels like. Secret number 3 we're going to talk about, you guys, is the number 1 and most effective and easiest way to get a steady stream of profitable sales. And no, it's not Facebook ads, okay? And so someone asked, what is the best, private label or drop shipping for start? I would say private label is the most long-term business model, you guys. It's the most profitable, highest margins, and longest term. When I first started trying to sell my first product on Amazon, I was super confused. I was like, how will people hear about my product? Do I need to run advertising? Where and how do I do that? Is it really worth it? And I don't want to waste money, right? I didn't want to waste money, but I knew I had to invest money into my business in order to see it grow. And advertising is one of the best ways to do that. And so over the last 4+ years, I spent over $100,000 on advertising to figure out exactly what works, with a pretty good return on investment there, almost 5 to 1. And so doing that, running ads on Amazon specifically, they're called PPC ads, pay per click. It's kind of like Google keyword ads, where you run based off of what keyword it is. And so there are 3 steps to get started with running highly profitable Amazon ads, you guys. And so step 1 is to go into your Amazon seller account and click Campaign Manager. So once you sign up for your seller account, you'll see that little advertising tab there. That red arrow on the left, you want to hover over Campaign Manager and click on that. And then you'll be able to see your advertising dashboard, and you'll be able to create a campaign with that little golden button. And so Farhan asked, what if you don't make any sales for a few days? That's why you need to start running ads, right? So people get to hear about your product. Rebecca asked, once your product arrived to Amazon's fulfillment center, do you know how long the product will be ready to sell? Yeah, as soon as it's there, checked in, it's pretty much ready immediately. Those are good questions. And so step 2, after you go into your advertising campaign, click Create Campaign. You want to choose the type of campaign you're going to run. And so I'd highly recommend running sponsored products. There's different types of campaigns: sponsored brands, sponsored display. They're generally a little bit more complicated and not always as good of a return, but you just want to sponsor your product or run ads for your product on Amazon. And so you can see there in that little orange, when you run ads for your Amazon, they run ads on Amazon for your product. They will show up there, and when customers click on them, then you have that chance to make a sale. And so you want to click there under the continue for sponsored products. And step number 3 is to create your advertising campaign. Just name it something. In this case, I named it Winning Product. Okay. And you want to set it to, a little tip here, set it to never expire. Because if you think about it, you want to be making sales every day for the rest of the product's life. And so why would you stop running ads? And so you want to set a daily budget. Depends on what you want to work with. The more money you have to spend, the more you'll likely make in sales. Okay. And so it's very easy to set up what's called an automatic targeting campaign on Amazon. On Amazon. So Amazon will basically automatically target the keywords they think is relevant to your product in order to get those sales. So you can let Amazon do all that heavy lifting, select that, and then boom, you'll be able to have your product live. Running ads on Amazon, customers will click and buy your product, and you never had to ship anything out, never had to touch the product, edit a website, any of that. Amazon handles all of that. So I want you to imagine spending $1 in ads and getting $5 back. So doing a little exercise here, if you were to spend, for every $1 you spend on Amazon ads and you got $5 back, I want you to put in the chat how much you'd be willing to invest in Amazon ads if you got that kind of a return. Kind of a trick question, but for every $1 you spend, if you got $5 back, how much would you really be willing to invest in Amazon ads to sell your product? Well, I'm curious to hear your thoughts here. Oh, Rebecca, what about reviews? People are always looking for reviews. Yeah, the more sales you get, the more reviews you'll get. Okay, and there's ways to get more reviews. But I'm seeing people. Okay, Farhan says €1,000. Okay, I see some people saying $1,000. James said 2,500. Ja said my whole account, and someone said $1. So, yeah, looks like Ja was on the right track there, because think about it like this: if you were to spend $1 and get $5 back, if you were to spend $1,000 and get $5,000 back, exactly. Flocka said all the money he can spend, right? Because think of it like that in terms of an investment. The more you spend, the more money you make. It's a no-brainer, right? Awesome. So guys, as I promised, I wanted to share my Amazon storefront. Here it is. This is my brand, Royal Elements. I have had this brand up on Amazon for about 5 years now. It's done very well. It's been my full-time income, and I sell printable vinyl, sticker paper, and other arts and crafts material. A lot of people buy my products for like if they're a candle maker and they want to put a label on their candles, they can just buy my sticker paper, print it out, and it's waterproof and high quality. And so there's my logo there. That guy literally cost me, it was only $10 for that logo, and it's made me a fair amount of money there. And so yeah, they're arts and crafts material. Here's some of my products. This is glossy printable vinyl that I have. It's packaged nicely. It is right there. It's stored in with my factory, and they're about to ship that out there. And that is kind of what it looks like. Okay. So it's branded sticker paper, right? I just put my packaging over the product there. Has the little barcode. It has some information. Someone asked where to get the logo done. I got it done on Fiverr. It was very cheap. So same with the packaging, actually. And so here are a few more of my products. They're all, obviously the same brand. They're very colorful, exciting, and enticing. I have a lot of reviews. You can see one of those 1,145 reviews. Let's see, 842 reviews. And so, yeah, collectively thousands and thousands of reviews, very high quality stuff. And customers are super happy with it. And it goes on autopilot, you guys. I don't really have to do that much with this business. I just have to reorder inventory and check my ads every so often, and it brings in passive income, which is amazing, right? And so I actually price higher than my competition, and I'm more profitable. A lot of other sellers, some of them just copy and paste exactly what I say on their listings, but they don't do as well because they don't have that branding element, and they don't know how to optimize their listings and run Amazon ads as well. So here's one of my listings, one of my products. And also, like I said, you guys, I'm launching a new brand, which just hit the warehouse very recently. And I've been getting some sales, getting some reviews, building that new brand up. And it's called Shy Leaf, and I'm selling bamboo plates. And so here's one of the products. I'm launching 5 of those products of similar sizes of plates and things of that nature. And so how did I find this niche? I literally did the same thing I'm teaching you guys. I used AMZ Scout's product database. I used their software, and I found these products right here. I saw that they had really strong revenue. That one, the top one, doing 13,000, 5,000. One of them doing 37,000 a month, and they didn't really have that many reviews. Only 350, 340, 91. So nothing crazy in terms of thousands of reviews. I also saw none of them were doing a good job at the branding element, and so that is how I picked this product. This niche. How did I find a supplier? The same way I'm teaching you guys, right? I typed in the product name on Alibaba. I scrolled through a bunch of suppliers, looked at their price, look at how long they're in business. I contacted a bunch of them using a copy and paste supplier template, which I'll share some information about in a little bit here. But yeah, I just copy and paste like my questions, like introducing myself, how much, asking things like how much it costs, if they can do custom packaging, barcodes, and things like that, and getting as much information as possible so I can make a good decision. And so I think someone asked a little bit ago, like, how do you get the branding done? This is the exact seller I used to get my logo done. It was about $70 on Fiverr. They did an amazing job. I think it looks really good. And then so also for packaging, I did the same thing, but my goal is to do 100K a month in revenue at 30% profit margin. I'm playing around with that. Hopefully I'll be able to reach that goal within the next, I'd say year, maybe 2 years would be really awesome. And then I would be able to sell the business and just start another one. So that's kind of what I'm doing and where I'm at in terms of my brands. And so I see a bunch of questions here. Farhan asks, what about Amazon's Choice? Yeah, Amazon's Choice is like a badge where Amazon says, hey, this is like our choice for top product, best rated, best value, and things like that. And the way you get that is just getting a lot of sales, usually through advertising, and have a good product. Simple as that. And so right now, you guys, I want to do something special. We talked about it on the slides, but I want to actually do a live demo of AMZ Scout. And so, yeah, here is Amazon.com, right? And so, like I said, what I do is I go to the new releases tab here. I already have the AMZ Scout software. And so I clicked on new releases. We can see all of these new releases by category. If you remember, some of them I like more than others. So if we want to go and say, hey, let's look for hot new releases in the arts, crafts, and sewing niche. And so we'll be able to see all of these newly released products doing extremely well, getting a lot of sales, not much competition. And so if we open up AMZ Scout, they will show us all of this information. So we'll be able to see, for example, this top seller here, these are travel watercolor brushes for artists. We can see the PL score or private label score is a 9 out of 10, which is really amazing, really good. Their price here, $35. Their estimated monthly sales might be a little bit small, hard for some of you to see, so I'll just read it out. 595 estimated monthly sales, about 20,825 revenue every single month, right? We can see the number of reviews, only 13. So this seller just launched and they're doing amazing, getting over 20,000 in revenue per month selling this simple product. This would follow the backpack method perfectly, right? Simple, small, light, good profit, good sales, low competition. And it's very light, only 0.21 pounds, right? So that is how we use AMZ Scout. Of course, we can look individually on more of them. We can load the next page. We can go in and look at the product database, okay? But I just want to keep it simple and show you this is kind of how we do it. So let's look at one more example here. If we go back to the new releases, by the way, I would never recommend looking at best sellers because they tend to be more competitive, more established sellers. The new releases is where the gold mine is because that's where all the hot new products are that are selling really well with low competition. So let's look at also office products doing this again. Okay, we can see all of these products that are newly released. And so if we open up our Jungle Scout, our AMZ Scout tool here, we'll be able to see all of these products that are under the hot new releases, okay? And so sometimes it'll take a little bit of searching, but we can see an endless amount of product ideas. We can see all of the information, okay? For example, this product right here, this is an 18th birthday card for daughter, okay? And it is getting 1,400 sales per month, only 23 reviews, very simple, small, light product, amazing potential there. And so that is how you'll do some research to look at how the product is doing. You can also look at something called the bestseller rank really quickly so we can see how long this seller has been selling. We can see, wow, they were in #1 sales rank for a little bit here. We can see their price and this orange rank. Slowly, it's changing over time. And so we can see a lot of awesome data with AMZ Scout. And so that is what I'd recommend doing. Taking some time looking at new releases, diving into different categories here, opening up your software tool. Does that kind of make sense, you guys, in terms of like what it looks like to do product research, right? Go on Amazon using AMZ Scout, dig through some of the new releases, hunt for that winning product that fits the backpack method, make sure it has good profit potential, not too competitive, and then just start to source your product, right? Go on to Alibaba and look for manufacturers, right? So we're going to move along here. So here's what we've learned so far, you guys. We learned, #1, how to find winning products, right? Using the backpack method. We talked about those details. Secret number 2, we talked about how to build a wildly profitable Amazon business, those 6 steps so that you can make money in your sleep and build a long-term business that is working for you. And secret number 3, the number 1 and most effective and easiest way to make a steady stream of profitable sales, which you now know is Amazon ads. Easy and fast, that's great. Yeah, it is. You can find a ton of awesome products there. Okay, so let me ask you a question. We've been going for how long? About just over an hour. Wow. And so I know I talk fast. That's a lot of information condensed, but maybe some of you feel like this right now. You feel a little bit overwhelmed. It's like, oh my gosh, Michael, this stuff's awesome. I can see how much potential there is on Amazon. I'm so excited, but like, it's like drinking water through a fire hose, right? And so, yeah, is it okay if I spend maybe the next 5 or 10 minutes going over a special offer I have for you guys? Hopefully, you guys want to hear more about that, because this webinar alone, is not enough to get started. So if that's okay with you guys, I see a lot of questions. I'll answer those in a moment here, but I want to present something special I have for you guys just for those of you on this live webinar. And so what I have for you tonight is a private label Amazon FBA course. Okay, so this is something I've been working on behind the scenes for a long time, actually 3 years. And it is a full video course showing you everything you need to know step by step from A to Z. And you have unlimited lifetime access, okay, for those of you on this webinar, including all updates, all right? And so what you're going to get in this bundle here is the Ecom Project Zero, which is my company, the private label Amazon FBA course, total value of $1,997. Now, I'm not going to charge you that much. I just want to put a value for how much that is worth. And so that, on top of that, you guys, the number one thing you need desperately as a new seller is accountability. And so I host live weekly group coaching calls held on Mondays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then you get unlimited access to that, lifetime access, total value of $497. So on top of the Ecom Project Zero Amazon FBA course, you'll also get unlimited live weekly group coaching calls to keep you accountable. So you can ask questions and see what I'm up to. And so total value there of $2,494. Okay, on top of that, you'll also get access to our private Discord server for free. I have students in there who are sharing their results there. Like one of my students doing $573 in sales, 17 units just for that single day, which is awesome. Students are going back and forth. And so what you're going to get inside of this special webinar bundle is not only the Ecom Project Zero Amazon FBA course, also unlimited live once a week group coaching calls, and that private Discord community chat access. Total value $2,791. All right. And so you'll also get instant access to something special I've been working on, which is the Fast Track Framework bonus mini series. So we talked about briefly those 6 steps, but I break that in depth more. Added as a bonus for free for you guys on this webinar here. So not only will you get the Amazon FBA course complete from A to Z, you also get unlimited live weekly group coaching calls and the private Discord chat community and my bonus Fast Track Framework video series. Total value of $3,288, you guys. And so added as another bonus for free, I have battle-tested blueprints. So copy and paste exactly what to say to suppliers, checklists, templates, and cheat sheets, a Ecom Project Zero roadmap. You can see the whole process from a bird's eye view on one page, and much, much more. I threw that in as a bonus for you guys attending this live webinar, especially for you. And so what you're going to get, not only access to the Amazon FBA private label course, you're going to get unlimited live weekly group coaching, the Discord, also the bonus Fast Track Framework video series, and my bonus battle tested blueprints, downloadables, and PDFs. Total value $3,785. And one last bonus to put the cherry on top. This is something a lot of you I know want after having worked with so many students. And that is for the first 5 of you to sign up. you'll get a free 1 hour one-on-one coaching session with me. You'll be able to sit down with me on Zoom. I'll be able to help walk you through the process, answer any of your questions one-on-one, just you and me. And so that's something I wanted to throw in there as a very special fast action bonus, only limited to the first 5 people to sign up. And you'll learn more details on how to do that in a moment here. And so also to add another cherry on top of this already amazing offer, is AMZ Scout has decided to do something super awesome. They decided to include their Amazon sellers annual bundle, total value of $399. So you get access to all of that software we showed and more. The Pro extension, the product database, the product tracker, reverse ASIN lookup, Amazon keyword search, keyword tracker, and much, much more. Total value of $399. And they wanted to throw in a couple of awesome bonuses on top, which is you'll receive the top 1% products and niches selected by AI delivered to your email inbox weekly. So if you are struggling to find products, AMZ Scout is going to send you an email every week with the top 1% of products that have potential there. You'll also get monthly Amazon trend reports covering niches, trends, categories to avoid, tips on how to beat competitors, and much more. Included there, also a couple of more awesome bonuses. They decided to throw in the Seller Hook Report with ideas for 5 booming products to sell during the spring of 2023, which is coming up here. In addition to that, they threw in the Amazon Infographics Secret ebook, which is super awesome. Way, way more value than what you could ever need, right? But we throw that in there because we want to help you out. And so I had 2 choices here. Number one, I could go with the first option, which would be to price this as cheap as possible and try to sell as many as possible, but that really wouldn't incentivize me to stack on the value for you. And so the second option, which is what I went with, which requires a little higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote more resources to help guarantee your success. And so this webinar special deal, you guys, active right now, for a one-time payment of only $749. You'll get everything we talked about, including the Amazon private label course, the live group coaching, private Discord community, my battle-tested blueprints, downloadables, cheat sheets, and exclusive bonuses from AMZ Scout. You'll also get the Fast Track Framework bonus video series, access to all of my previous live workshops and webinars. You'll get AMZ Scout's annual plan of all of their software for $399 included in there. Also a bunch of other amazing bonuses. And so if you wanted to sign up right now, you can do that. You should be able to see a link appearing somewhere on your screen of this webinar. You can click that. You can also scan that QR code to learn more information, because this is only for the live webinar attendees and for those of you who are able to stick around to the end here. And so, yeah, you can take a look at that right there, because this webinar alone is not enough to get started. Maybe it's really helpful information, right? But you need more tools, access, and training in order to implement everything, including that bonus for the first 5 people who sign up. You'll be able to get that free one-on-one coaching call with me, where I'll be able to sit down, help you, walk you through the process, which is invaluable. Usually I charge upwards of $2,000 and don't even include software. And so, yeah, you can take a look at that right now. It should be on your screen appearing now. And so if all this did was finally give you a profitable business model that you can use to put $1 in and get $5 back out, $10 back out, would that be worth it? If all this was to give you the peace of mind by reducing the stress of paying bills, by earning extra passive income on the side, would that be worth it to you, right? And if all this training did was increase the amount of free time you have so that you could spend it with friends and family and be allowed to pursue your hobbies and spend your time other ways outside of a 9-to-5, would that be worth it to you? That's something you need to decide for yourself. Josh says, great deal. I want to ask you, what's one profitable product worth to you? So learning everything, if you go through this training, right, what would it be worth to you to have one successful product up and selling on Amazon? If you're making $1,000 a month profit, Maybe even you launch another one, or your product does really well, you're earning $5,000 a month or even $10,000 a month. How much would it be worth to you in order to learn and get all that information and have that knowledge so that you can be successful, right? And so this is something that will literally pay itself backwards, okay, which is awesome. This is something that would be an investment, right? This is not like buying a Gucci handbag or something like that, right? This is investing in your knowledge and skills, which is something you can use for the rest of your life, learning how to do marketing, research, build a brand, invaluable skills you can build off of, okay? And so if you think about it in terms of like college tuition versus starting a business nowadays, every single year, college goes up insanely high amounts, sometimes costing as much as 6 figures or more just to get a piece of paper that says you're now qualified to have a job, in comparison to starting a business like this, which in this case is a one-time payment of $749. That's the comparison there, where you're able to learn real hands-on tactics and strategies, get accountability, software, and all of that just for that single payment that you can be able to take a look at on your screen there. So right now you have two choices, okay? Your first option is you do nothing and you do not invest in your education, which is 100% risk-free, right? And you just walk away and you say, hey, Michael, this is great, good information, but I need to think about it, or, you know, my dog died, you know, and I have to have a funeral or something like that, right? Or you have the second option, which is you get started by making the small investment today and take advantage of all the incredibly valuable resources you're going to receive and get started with your entrepreneurial journey right now, okay? So those are the two options you have today on this webinar. And so here are some of my amazing student results. I've had students generate as much of close to $100,000 their first year selling on Amazon using exactly what I teach. I've had students who are generating at least $500 per day the very first day they launch their product. And so within a matter of a few weeks, a few months of selling, this training will pay for itself and then more. So I want you to imagine, once you go through this process, you implement everything I teach, you take advantage of all the resources, and then in a month, 2 months, 3 months from when you launch your product, and you see the passive income rolling in, like that should be like a no-brainer, right? Yeah, we're going to get into some questions here real quick. I'm going to take a sip of water. I see a lot of you do have some Q&A. You've been awesome, and hopefully you've learned a lot. And so very quickly, you guys, just to recap everything you're going to get for this special webinar deal, for those of you who have stuck around, you're going to get access to the Amazon private label course step-by-step from A to Z, something I've worked on for 3+ years, refining all of my strategies and tactics. You're also going to get live weekly group accountability coaching from me, not someone else I hire out. From me personally, I meet with you guys every Monday night to talk about all things Amazon private label. You also get access to that private Discord community. You'll get access to the battle-tested blueprints, PDFs and downloadables and cheat sheets. You'll get the Fast Track Framework bonus video series, access to all my previous live webinars and workshops. Also included here is the software from AMZ Scout, total value of almost $400 they're including in this bundle, which is amazing, including a couple of other exclusive bonuses, including being able to send you those product ideas and 12 monthly trend reports. On top of that, you'll get all those other awesome bonuses. And for the very first 5 of you, I wanted to make this just an insane deal. For the first 5 of you to sign up on this webinar here, you'll get access to one-on-one coaching with me. I'll see that you're signed up, and I'll be able to send you access to my Calendly. We'll be able to sit down one-on-one on Zoom. I'll be able to walk you through the process, answer any of your questions, help you pick a product. And so for the very first 5 of you to do that, you'll get access to also that bonus. So you can click somewhere on your screen right now, or you can scan that QR code and get started. And so there are a couple other things I wanted to mention here before we get into Q&A. Number one, you have a 10-day risk-free guarantee here, you guys. So if you sign up today and you don't like the training or anything we've provided for any reason at all, even if it's been 9 days, 23 hours, and 59 minutes, just contact us at support@amzscout.net, and we'll give you your money back. So there is no risk today. That's the cool thing about this. Although it's so insanely valuable, if for some reason you want to get started today, you have 10 days to think about it before you actually have to have that final yes. So there is no risk today. We want to do this so that we can get you started, start providing value to you. And so you have 10 whole days. If for some reason that you don't want to go through with it, we do have that guarantee. So again, for the first 5 of you to sign up, you get a free, I said 30-minute here, but I want to actually extend that to an hour one-on-one coaching session with me personally on Zoom, where we'll be able to walk through the process, answer any of your questions, and help you get started. And so, yeah, I see some of you have some questions here. So if you want to start asking those, if there's anything you wanted clarity on, but I wish I had something like this when I got started, you guys. I spent a lot of money on courses, on going to seminars, on software, and I never got a deal nearly as good as this. Also, like I said, I used to sell this bundle without one-on-one coaching, without software, for upwards of $2,000. And so this webinar special is insanely valuable, right? And so I want to make this as no-brainer as possible, but I'm sure some of you might have some questions because this webinar alone is not enough to get you started. But I see some of you do have some questions. So Emily asked about a shipping plan. Do you have any suggestions? Yeah, actually inside of the course, I walk you through step by step how to set up your shipping plan, where to find barcodes, where to find all that information. And so it's very easy. I filmed it specifically so that it would be like you can watch me over my shoulder as I go through the whole process. I promise I don't skip anything. I talk about how to set up your business, how to set up your LLC, how to find winning products, how to manufacture them, how to contact suppliers, set up your listing, optimize everything. I've thought about it. Okay. Oh, someone asked about different manufacturers instead of Alibaba. How can you deal with that? I've looked at IndiaMart before, but I just think that Alibaba is the best all-in-one platform to pick those products, right, and find that manufacturer. And so obviously, like I don't think I actually showed it you guys, but I have a copy and paste supplier template for what exactly I say and how to word exactly what to say to your supplier. Because if you don't know what to say, there's a possibility that you won't get the best price, you won't get the highest quality. And so it makes sense to pay for the shortcut, which is the whole reason for this, right? Shortcut and download everything basically into your brain after watching and consuming all this material so that you don't have to make those expensive mistakes later on. So what if you launch a product on your own, you try going down that route, and you don't realize that you have to look at patents, or you don't realize that certain categories are gated, right? Or you don't understand how to run Amazon ads, or all these other things. It'll cost you more time and more money down the line if you don't invest in your education and software, right? And so that is why we have this bundle, plus that 10-day money-back guarantee. Also, for the first 5 of you to sign up, you will get one-on-one coaching with me, where I'll be able to sit down and help you through the process. And so let's see, a couple more questions here. Can I just pick one of the weekly products you sent to our email to start a product? Yeah, you could definitely do that. So every week, AMZ Scout will be sending you those top 1% product ideas when you buy this bundle, which is super awesome, something I never had access to. So I'm pretty jealous about that. I had to do it the hard way. It took me over 2 months to find my first product. If I had something like this, if I had all of this information, all of these tools, then it would have shortcut me so much quicker, and I probably would have had success sooner. And so that is what I want for you guys, right? Because just on this webinar, it's not enough to get you started. You might be thinking like, oh, I want to think about it and do some research. The problem is this webinar deal will expire. If you don't take advantage of this on the webinar, then you won't be able to get access to the first 5 of you who sign up, right, for that coaching. And so this does have a time limit. And so this is something you need to think about. Like, if everything has kind of made sense to you, what we've talked about, you know how much opportunity there is, you know how much value there is here, then it just comes time to take the leap of faith, right? Because entrepreneurship is a risk. The reason why it's so rewarding is because there is that risk aspect, which not everyone is going to want to take, right? Because some people, like the whole idea of having a clenched fist of, if you keep tight control of your money, right, you're going to just hold on to your money, but you won't be able to grow it, right? And so the whole idea of something like this is you need to be able to invest. You need to learn, put up that upfront learning process, because it's kind of like a roller coaster, you guys. You get started, right? You have to put in all this effort, have to learn the ropes, find that winning product. But once you get there and you launch that product, everything from there is coasting. And I promise you, it'll feel amazing. It'll feel like Christmas morning when you first start seeing your sales come through, right? And you start getting profits. And so using this bundle here, investing in this tonight, is one of the best decisions you could possibly make in your entire life. I know for me it is. Starting my business 5 years ago is literally the best decision I've made in my entire life. Has given me more freedom to travel, pursue hobbies, to spend time with my family. Has given me an amazing career, because using this information, you'll be able to learn all things about marketing, starting your business, product research, advertising. Like, it's an all-in-one bundle. And I do everything in my power to help you succeed. That's why we have the live group accountability coaching. And for those first 5 of you lucky enough to sign up before everyone else, you'll also be able to get that amazing deal of a free one-on-one coaching session with me live over Zoom. Okay. And so let's see. Oh, some of you are saying you cannot find a winning product. Yeah, that's why we include all of this here, you guys. We have that awesome software bundle. I teach you step by step my top 3 or 4 methods for product research inside of the course. I'll walk through it on the live group coaching calls, sometimes even picking products for you on those group coaching calls, so that, there's no way, unless you just don't put in any effort, that you're going to fail, right? That's why we have this deal, this amazing deal for those of you on this webinar, with all these exclusive bonuses that you cannot find anywhere else. Because after this webinar expires, then you won't be able to get access to this, sadly. And so for this one-time payment of $749, you can get started building your business and working towards financial freedom. Because maybe some of you are kind of stuck working 9 to 5, not somewhere you want to be. You can do more with your life, right? And you want to start building your own dream rather than someone else's. And so this is an opportunity right here to start that and invest in this bundle tonight, so that you can start building your business and achieve financial freedom, right? It's not going to be overnight, obviously, but it's going to be something that is so well worth it. You're going to look back in 3 months, 6 months and say, oh my gosh, I wish I had done this sooner, right? And so you can get started right now. You should be able to click that link somewhere on your screen, or that QR code, or at the very bottom there, you can open up your browser and go to amzscout.net/get/coach-Michael. Someone says they're a shirt production company based in Italy. We have our brand. Would we like to sell this on Amazon US, Canada, or Mexico? Is this something you can help us build? Yeah, definitely, Roberta. So I'd recommend, number one, the US is the best marketplace to sell on. Okay. Usually. Okay. And it's because it's such a massive, massive marketplace with something like 200 million active customers. And so that's where I'd recommend starting. And so definitely I can help you walk you through that whole process there for starting, which is a good question. Yeah, a lot of you are talking about you're struggling to find a winning product. Okay. And so the key there is to do as much research as possible. All right. Following the process I teach, using the software that we include in this bundle tonight, and just be consistent. I remember when I first started, I think one of the reasons why it took me almost 2 months to find my first product is because I kind of had analysis paralysis. I was like, oh, what if this doesn't work out, or what if there's a better idea, or the grass is always greener on the other side, or so you think, right? But what I realized is that just being consistent and just making a decision to say, all right, I am going to start this business no matter what it takes. I'm going to use all these tools I can that we have available here tonight. And so making that commitment and just diving in head first is the only way you'll ever be able to get results, because maybe you'll be saying like, oh, like I need to think about this maybe in a month, in 2 months. For one, unfortunately, this deal will expire. And two, you're likely going to be in the same position in a few months from now. You'll still be working maybe a job you're not passionate about, or you'll still want to be earning extra income on the side. And so right now is the opportunity for you to jump on that and get started building your business with all of these amazing resources we have, with the course, with the coaching, with the community, with the blueprints, downloadable cheat sheets, with the software, with the additional bonuses here, with the coaching, the one-on-one coaching I have to offer, which is something insanely valuable that I usually don't do anywhere near this price point. So this is a steal of a deal, which you probably already know. And the whole reason we're offering this, you guys, is so that we can help you get started on the right foot with the best resources possible to help you succeed. And so Rebecca asked, does the AMZ Scout plan come with the Pro extension? Yeah, it does. It does indeed. It comes with everything. The Pro extension, the database, all of the additional tools and analytics. It has a ton of additional resources. Everything we talked about and showed also, Rebecca, in the webinar is included from AMZ Scout, which is pretty awesome, right? So a couple of you are asking about freight forwarders, which is interesting. What I'd recommend actually is just using your supplier's recommendation. That's why picking a good supplier is so important. I talk about that in the course, and I go through that template for what you say to the supplier. Usually I'll use my supplier's connections, which tend to be cheaper, and they tend to be more streamlined, so that you don't have to go out of your way to deal with a lot of these things. Because for the most part, you're pretty much like a middleman. You're finding that product, you're getting it all set up, you're contacting the manufacturer, you're shipping it to Amazon. But other than that, you're building this asset, this business that will be able to generate passive income for you on autopilot, which is the amazing part of it, right? Yeah, this offer, it will be expiring after this webinar, unfortunately, you guys. So if this is something you do want to get started with, I highly recommend starting. It would be a complete no-brainer for me if I were on the other end and I were wanting to start. I wish I had an offer like this. And remember, you get that 10-day money back guarantee if for some reason, you just don't feel like this is something that's right for you. You can always just email us back and you'll get your money back, which is awesome, right? So there's no risk getting started today. You get all of these insane bonuses, and also that additional the coaching from me. Sometimes, you guys, if you really, really are struggling for that coaching session, I might even be able to just pick a product for you, okay? As if I were going to launch it, as if I would be the one sitting down and saying, all right, here's what you need to do. Here's how you need to structure your offer. Here's what I recommend for branding. Here are the next steps. Here's the action plan. And so for those first 5 of you lucky enough to sign up, I believe we do have a few more spots open for that. You'll get access to that one-on-one coaching call with me, where I can help you pick your product if you weren't able to find one already. And so everything included here, you guys, that just this webinar is not going to be enough to get you started here. And so just for this one-time payment here of $749, you can get started. And if you don't want to go through with it for some odd reason, maybe you just don't think it's worth it, or something comes up, you do have that 10-day money back guarantee. Okay. Oh, will I receive an email about booking a call with you now that I signed up? Jenny, yes, you will. So I'll have you down. I'll be able to enroll you into the course here after the webinar, and then I will be emailing you my Calendly link to schedule your one-on-one coaching call with me. And you get to pick the time just based off my availability, which is awesome. It's good to have you in here. Yeah. Let's see how Hassan says, how do you choose a profitable product from the new releases? Yeah, we talked about that in the webinar, but also inside of the course, I go over actually 3 main methods for finding winning products. The ones that I think are the most powerful, and just using the software and the tool set, and also the backpack method, and all of those criteria there. I also have in those blueprints and PDFs kind of like a checklist for exactly what to look for new products. And so we have a ton of resources here, which is pretty awesome, right? And so James, I'm scrolling down. I miss a lot of your questions, you guys. I'm sorry about that. He says, if my item goes straight from a distributor to a prep center, does Amazon take care of the labeling? Yes, but I wouldn't recommend that. Here's why. Amazon charges you more if you forget to label, products from your manufacturer. So the process I teach inside of the course will show you step by step the best way, which is to have your manufacturer actually put on the barcodes, and ideally actually have it printed into the packaging so they don't have to sticker anything on, which is a really good question. Oh, Contemporary Craft said, great webinar, Michael. I just signed up. Looking forward to speaking with you. Thank you. Awesome. Yeah. I do believe we have at least 1 or 2 more spots left for that coaching call, you guys. Yeah, if that's something you want to get started with after this webinar, unfortunately, this deal is going to expire. And so this is something you're on the fence with right now. With all of this value, with everything in here, sometimes you just need to take that leap of faith, right? And then and dive in and get started, because you won't know how to start your business without having all of this information, all these tools, right? And you have that 10-day risk-free money back period where for some reason, you get started, you start learning, and it's not for you, then you don't have to have the risk all today, which is why we do this, right? And so you guys, I just want to say, you guys have been an awesome audience. You've been super positive, asking really good questions. Oh, lol, I see. Yeah, you signed up. Awesome. Yeah, good to have you. Can't wait to help you get started. Yeah, if you guys don't have any more questions here, I just want to say thank you so much. You've been great. It's been an amazing webinar. And for any of you, this is the final call here. We're about to, unfortunately, shut this down. And so for any of you on the fence here, now is your final opportunity to get started. You can either click that link or go through the QR code, or type that out type that offer out there and on a browser page. You can tell I'm losing my voice, you guys, after an hour and a half of nonstop talking. And so, yeah, you guys have been awesome. Thank you so much. I hope you have a good weekend. Thanks for hanging out. And yeah, if you have any questions, you can always email us at AMZ Scout. You can email me at michael@ecomproject0.com. I'm also on YouTube. I'm on social media all over the place. Maybe some of you have already seen me. And so I appreciate your time. Thanks for tuning in. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend.